the received a directive, no, which emanated from a cabinet meeting led by President Marcos, asking me to remit the 89.9 billion. So like a good soldier, I am following them, led by President Marcos, asking me to remit the 89.9 billion, led by President Marcos, asking me to remit the 89.9 billion, led by President Marcos, asking me to remit the 89.9 billion.
Yung number one ground, dalawa yung grounds namin, ano, yung number one ground namin, yung saligang batas natin has a provision. It goes this way: no law shall be passed authorizing the transfer of appropriations.
Yeah.
Klarong-klaro yan, nakalagyan. Hindi pwede pumasa ang Kongreso ng batas that will authorize the transfer of appropriations. Ngayon, sa General Appropriations Act ng 2024, ang ginawa ng Kongreso, inauthorize nila ang Secretary of Finance to transfer appropriations from PhilHealth to other agencies na hindi na punduhan. Tawag nila yung unprogrammed appropriations. Bawal na bawal yan. Klarong-klaro.
Good morning, and rest assured, Senator Go, all that you mentioned earlier is taken into consideration at PhilHealth. And we just want to mention again that, Senator, every time you call a hearing in aid of legislation, kahit weekend po, kahit may bagyo po, PhilHealth is always in perfect attendance po. So we're fully supportive of all that you do for the health sector. Also, Senator, we hear your 5 points that you want PhilHealth to tackle, and I'm sure that will all be brought up during the hearing. But I just want to mention before the hearing starts that around a week ago, Senator, we were in Congress. PhilHealth was in Congress with DOH for the budget hearing, no, appropriations. And we were there for 14 hours straight. And it was during that hearing that I had mentioned to the chair, Kong Stella and Kong Garin, no, that we are currently reviewing in PhilHealth, no, we are currently reviewing up to a 50% increase on all case rates almost across the board. And we feel we can submit that before the year ends, no. In line with that, Senator, nung sinabi ko yan, sabi po ng committee ng hearing, sabi na masyado matagal yung year end. So pinapaspasan po namin, hopefully maybe within 1 to 2 months po, mare-recommend na namin po yan, no. And maybe eventually shortly thereafter implement it, no. Now, in line with that, Senator Go, so we were considering a 50% increase of case rates almost across the board. Maganda po yung sinuggest ni Kong Stella Kimbo. Sabi niya, kasi masyadong inflationary po yon. Although we do full rationalization, no. Dahil sinuggest ni Kong Stella masyadong inflationary yon, what we decided to do, Senator Go, instead of recommending a almost across the board 50% increase, what we will do is we will focus on the top 10 most common diseases in terms of mortality and morbidity, and we will focus on increasing those top 10. Kahit iba-iba, hindi.
Sa ngayon, 30% ang in-increase nyo?
Sa ngayon po, last February 14, we increased by 30% almost across the board.
Pwede mong ma-explain itong case rate? Kasi ang taas tingnan 30%. Tas before the year ends, sasabihin nyo 60%. Pwede nyo bang maklaro sa publiko kung yung computation niya? Kasi parang sa tingin ko napakababa pa rin eh.
Yes po.
Baka mamaya 1,000 lang yung sa i-cover ng sa 300,000 in-increase nyo. Baka 1,000 lang tapos in-increase nyo ulit ng 30%. 2,000 lang.
Actually,
pwede nyo i-explain na mabuti. Magbigay kayo ng example.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, if we're given the chance during the hearing, we'll papa-explain namin po very in details para maintindihan po ng Honorable Committee. So going back to that, Senator, so we committed that, no? To the House Committee, no? And instead of the 50% increase almost across the board, we will look at increasing the top 10 most common diseases, no, based on mortality and morbidity. And just for the information of this Honorable Committee, those top 10 diseases comprise almost 80% of the total case rates. So halos ganun na rin yan po. Kasi almost covered na rin yan eh. So it will come out almost across the board na rin po, no. Secondly, sir, on your Honorable Chair, on your other issues, no, we're prepared to address it later, no, in detail, yung single period of confinement, and then yung payment of claims to hospitals, no. Very briefly on the 15 billion yung utang po namin sa DOH, no, na sinasabi ninyo po at sinasabi ni Sec. Herbosa, no. Again, we are currently doing reconciliation on those, no. And I'm confident after the reconciliation po, yung 15 billion na yan, siguro magiging mga 3 to 4 billion na lang yan. So yan yung talagang totoo, 'di ba? So pag madinig nyo or magbasa kayo na 15 billion ng utang ng PhilHealth, hindi po totoo 'yon, 'di ba? Dahil marami diyan RTH, marami diyan denied, 'di ba? So I keep on reiterating sana, I keep on asking Honorable Secretary Herbosa, no. Sana wag ka muna magsabi sa media na mga ganun kasi yung statements na yun pag pinipick up, ibang nakukuha ng mga tao 'di ba? So I've asked him a couple of times, although it seems like, I mean, he really feels maybe he wants to get paid, no? So we're doing reconciliation immediately po, and we will.
Ito yung sa mga government hospitals?
Yes po, yung 14.8 billion na minention.
Wala lang sa private hospitals dito?
Wala po.
So wala na kayong...
Excluded po ang private hospitals po.
I mean, wala na kayong payable sa private hospitals? Wala na silang reklamo sa ngayon?
Actually,
Pero lang merong mga...
Actually, sorry, Senator. Actually, they're all very, very happy with the improvements in the payments of claims on the private side.
So wala nang mga reklamong payable sa kanila?
Actually, wala nang mga reklamo. In fact, ang maraming ang nakukuha namin, hindi reklamo, puro commendations at saka pasasalamat.
Alam mo na, importante rin yun, aside from government hospitals, itong mga private hospitals. Kasi kailangan rin nilang mag-roll, no? Paikutin yung operational expenses rin nila, operational funds nila.
Yes.
Wala naman silang pangsweldo sa mga medical workers kung wala silang pondo. So dapat hindi matagalan yung kanilang claims. Not only sa mga government hospitals, including private hospitals din. Tingnan niyo rin po ng mabuti. Since andyan naman po ang pondo ng PhilHealth.
Yes po.
Buti sana kung nangutang kayo, wala kayong pambayad, dyan yung pondo eh.
Yes.
Sobra-sobra yung pondo ninyo. Kung valid naman yung claims, huwag nyo nang patagalin. Kailangan rin nilang umikot rin po ang kanilang panggasto sa hospital.
Yes po. Po on the point of the reduction of the premium contribution which I promised you and you aired earlier. I looked at the Senate amendment that you are passing po. I think you're an author of that bill, no? Maganda po 'yon. I'd like to reiterate that we are fully supportive of that reduction in premium contribution. And what we will need to do, Senator, is we will have to bring that up to the board of directors in PhilHealth, no? And I'm not so sure that everyone is supportive. Basta ako personally, as vice chair and as president, I'm fully supportive.
Ito yung,
but I will have to discuss
aside from sa batas na ito na amending the universal healthcare, itong reducing the premium contribution from 5% to 3.25% sa 2025. Bill pa ito, no? Pumasa na dito sa Senado.
Yes po.
At sana'y magiging batas po ito. Pero pwera dyan, before we pass it, nangako ka noon, sabi mo, you will recommend to the President, no, na i-reduce po yung premium contribution. Kumusta na po inyong recommendation sa Presidente?
Actually, we've been doing studies po now. We've came out with very similar to the Senate amendment. So what I was planning to do is I would just put it together, then recommend it to the board of directors. Because I cannot go naman directly to the president eh. Kailangan kumuha muna ng approval sa board of directors. So I'll have to see if the board will go along with it, no? Clearly, if the board doesn't go along with it, wala akong magagawa. My hands are tied, Senator, no? So that's yan ang plano ko sana. Kasi maganda na yung very very similar siya sa Senate amendment, maganda yung reduction eh. Maganda yung suggestion doon eh.
So ibig sabihin, pabor ka rito sa may pasa itong batas na to, reduce it.
Oh, definitely. 110% po.
May pakiusap lang ako sa iyo, President Ledesma. Sa magiging desisyon mo, parati, isipin mo lang parati yung mga mahirap nating kababayan, yung mga pasyente. Yun lang parati mong isipin. Hindi ka magkakamali doon. Isaalang-alang mo parati yung kapakanan ng mga mahirap na pasyente na walang pambayad po. Yun lang po ang parati mong isipin, yung mga mahirap nating kababayan. Hindi ka magkakamali dyan.
Thank you for that, Senator. Then, Senator, one more thing before I read my very brief opening statement, no? Again, with regards to the 89.9 billion, because it's not only you, Honorable Senator, it's not only Honorable Raffy Tulfo. Everyone is texting me, calling me, saying, ba't hindi mo inisip yung health concerns ng mga tao, pera ng health yan, bakit mo ginagawa yan? Again, I want to reiterate to this honorable committee and to everyone here in this room, no? I received a directive, no, which emanated from a cabinet meeting led by President Marcos, asking me to remit the 89.9 billion. So like a good soldier, I am following them, no? Now, I'm not a lawyer po. So of course, before I did it, I made sure I got clearance from COA from GCG and from OGCC. And today, I'm very happy to see my good friend here with us because yesterday, I don't know if you're aware, Solgen came out with a lot of opinions, very good opinions and statements, no, regarding this transfer that that it is legal, it is above board, blah 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 blah, and all that, no. So
So you mean legally possible po ito?
yes po.
So legally possible yung
That's again po, I'm not a lawyer, but that's my understanding based on the opinions of COA, GCG, OGCC, and as of yesterday, Solgen.
So legally lusot kayo, but for me morally unacceptable po itong pag-transfer. Marami pang naghihingalo ng mga kababayan natin. Walang pambayad sa hospital.
But Senator, I am just an ordinary member of this government. I was asked to do something. How can I go against it,
Sa
sir?
lahat ng magiging desisyon mo, isipin mo parate yung mga mahirap, yung mga pasyenteng naghihingalo na walang pambayad. Isipin mo lang parate yun. Isipin mo lang parate. Parate mong isipin yon sa
Yes.
magiging desisyon mo pa. Sa mga susunod pang mga policies na inyong isusulong, na i-amend, na ayusin, isipin mo yung pasyente. Please, yun lang ang isipin mo.
Yes, Senator. Yes, will do, Senator. Anyway, Senator, if I can, I'll just finish very briefly, no? So I'll just finish my opening statement and we can continue with the hearing. Thank you again, Senator Go. Good morning, Honorable Chair, Senator Go, Honorable Senator Rafi Tulfo. Again, in behalf of PhilHealth, we offer our sincerest thanks and gratitude for allowing PhilHealth to participate in this inquiry. With your permission, I offer this statement now in answer to previous questions from our honorable senators. It is my hope to clarify for our representatives and through them, our members, the steps the corporation has taken regarding the transfer of 89.9 billion funds. I first address the question, what did the corporation do with respect to the directive of the transfer? In the course of compliance po, like I said earlier, we sought guidance from our legal advisors, specifically the OGCC, the GCG, and COA. And as of yesterday, Solicitor General, all provided legal opinions that helped elucidate the matter and guided our actions.
Chair,
That
can I interrupt?
Go ahead po, baka may opening statements yan.
Yeah, because I've been going from one hearing to another. So, baka I can take this opportunity para maitanong ko rin mga dapat itanong. And then lilipat ulit ako sa kabilang committee. First of all, natutuwa naman ako kay Mr. Emmanuel Ledesma, President, Chief Executive Officer ng PhilHealth, because during the last hearing, lahat ng mga tinanong ko sa kanya at sinabi ko sa kanya, sabi niya, kinol niya, of course, mangyayari yon. And I really appreciate that. Sisingilin ko lang sa iyo ngayon kung ano ng development at kung yung iyong pinangako ay tuloy pa rin at mangyayari pa rin. Number one doon, wala nang copay, especially sa mga mahirap nating kababayan at sa mga senior citizen. Let's start with ultrasound, MRI, CT scan, pulmonary workup, SGPT, eye test, and ear exam. Yan ba ay libre na? Gusto ko maging libre na po yan kasi sobra-sobra po yung budget ng PhilHealth. In fact, kasi sobrang daming budget, umaapaw na, magbabalik pa kayo ng pera sa National Treasury. So, ano pong status nito na pag-usapan natin na sabi mo agree and you agreed na wala nang bayad?
Thank you very much, Senator Rafi Tulfo. No? So with your permission, and Senator Go, if I can be allowed maybe later on na lang to finish my opening statement. But Senator, yes, before I pass on the mic to our COO, Eli Santos, I want to assure you and this honorable committee, no? Basta pag may sinabing PhilHealth na gagawin namin at pa-promise namin, talagang mangyari po yan.
So-
Rest assured yan po.
so-
Anyway, if I can allow Attorney Eli to address your question.
Yes, and then follow-up question. Kailan po mag-uumpisa na libre na po, covered na ng PhilHealth, ang ultrasound, MRI, CT scan, pulmonary workup, SGPT, eye test, ear exam, even yung pong sa cleaning ng ngipin.
Yes.
Kasi sa ngayon, hindi po covered yon. So gusto ko po covered yon at walang copay, especially pag sa mga mahirap nating kababayan. At sabi niyo po, it will be done. Ano pong status, sir?
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, on the no co-payment for the senior citizen and indigent, our objective is to include this in the increase of the all case rates from 30 to 50%. So in that policy, we will include a provision on no co-payment to apply to senior citizen, indigent, and PWD members. Also in this policy, we will include the provision on the removal of the rule of single period of confinement, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, and on the promises of PhilHealth to cover CT scan, ultrasound, MRI, pulmonary workup, eye and ear exam and SGPT, we are still studying this, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, but we commit to comply with this directive within the year, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator
So
Tulfo.
pag-aaralan niyo pa lang po. So when you say pag-aaralan pa lang, sigurado na ba o hindi sigurado? Ang gusto ko pong sagot, sigurado, pag-aaralan namin kung paano magiging sistema na para mangyari po yun. That's what I want to hear and that will be music to my ears.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, we are studying it to include the same in our coverage for senior citizen, indigent, PWD, with a provision of no co-payment. Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator.
No co-payment. So ibig sabihin, mangyari pa rin talaga yun. Yun nga lang kung paano maging setup, paano yung maging sistema para mapasok na sila doon sa no co-pay, covered ito yung mga nabanggit natin, at then no co-pay, especially sa mga indigent, not even indigent, sa mga minimum wage earners. They're not considered indigent, pero mababa yung kanilang sweldo, tama-tama lang, wala na silang dapat babayaran na co-pay or out-of-pocket expense. I'm talking about minimum wage earners po.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, this will fully apply if the minimum wage earners will be admitted or confined in government facilities and government-owned institutions, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo. So yes to that, sir.
No, not even sa government institution. Kasi there are times na puno na po yung ospital sa government, pila-pila na, kailangan na ma-confine, kailangan na ma-check up yung isang pasyente at ang available time ay yung na pwede sila ma-accommodate ay sa private. So dapat pati sa private din. Pagdating po sa, of course, sa pagkakataon na puno na po yung General Hospital at some sort of an emergency, unless kung elective, of course. Pero kung hindi elective, it's an emergency and the patient needs to be accepted and needs to be checked agad-agad, maski na sa private hospitals, dapat covered at walang copay. And I'm talking about minimum wage earner. Para
With that said, Senator,
Sandali po. Kasi
Sorry po.
ang gusto ko naman po, I don't want our minimum wage earners to be treated as second-class citizen. Kailangan makatikim din sila ng serbisyo ng private hospitals. Kasi sa ngayon, nakakatikim ng serbisyo ng private hospitals, ay yung mga can afford. Pag minimum wage earner ka, hindi ka pwede pumunta ng ospital dahil ng private dahil magbabayad ka, malaking copay dyan, etc. So, I don't want our minimum wage earners to be treated as second-class citizens. So, go ahead po, Mr. Despa.
with that said, and apologies earlier for cutting you, Senator Tulfo. With that said, sir, we will include private hospitals then.
Thank you very
Understand.
much. So,
Welcome,
I can download that. And this is recorded, ano? Pwede ko kayong balikan, singilin.
Yes, sir.
Yan ang gusto ko sa Mr. Ledesma. Palagi mong kinocall yung mga request namin dito, lalo pat kung mahirap na kababayan ang ating pinag-usapan. So, pro-poor ka pala talaga. Thank you for that.
Basta makatulong po kami, Senator Tulfo. We're always there po.
Okay. Prophylaxis, yung teeth cleaning, dapat covered yan at libre. Especially sa mga minimum wage earner, again, sa mga senior citizen. Dahil ang dami ko nakikita, in fact, I talked to some people sa DOH na isa sa mga problema ng ating bansa ngayon, yung sira-sirang ngipin at napakarami mga bungal ng mga kababayan natin because they cannot afford yung libreng linis ng ngipin. Ang nagpapalinis sila pag bulok na yung ngipin nila. Pag pupunta sa dentist, bulok na, saka palang sila magpapa-check up at yun pala, hindi na maremedyoan, bubunutan sila and then pag nabunutan sila, bungal sila, wala silang pambayad ng postiso. So, gusto ko covered yan, pati yung postiso covered. Libre. As in free, F-R-E-E. Sir.
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, at present we are working with Yusek Chong of the Department of Health to develop a separate package for dental prophylaxis and any preventive dental measures to prevent dental caries and other dental pathology, Mr. Chairperson. Yes to that, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo.
Okay, kasi sa ngayon po, hindi po libre yung dental prophylaxis. Tama. So, I want it free. Totally. Kasi mas maganda yung bago pa man mangyari yung sakit o yung problema, na-address na sa pamagitan ng early check-up. Makatipid pa tayo, di ba? So, free na po At hindi kailangan public dental clinic. Pati sa private, allowed sila. Of course, syempre, screen nyo. Dapat may mga accredited na mga dental clinic na baka naman tagain kayo dyan sa PhilHealth. Ayoko naman mangyari po yun. Na hindi kayo pagsasamantalahan din. So, basta't yung dental prophylaxis, libre na po sa lahat ng mga especially senior citizen, minimum wage earners, and PWDs. Libre na po. Very good.
We will include it in our consulta package po.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Tulfo.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. How about doon po sa tinatawag na gamot program para sa mga seniors? Gusto ko po, libre na rin po yung mga maintenance para sa mga senior citizen. Allow rin mga maintenance para sa puso, diabetes, dapat libre na po.
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, at present, these are already covered by the Consulta program. Mr. Chairperson,
Na
Honorable Senator
program,
Tulfo.
sir?
The Consulta program, Mr.
Libre
Chairperson.
po sa mga senior citizen?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson.
Lahat?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson. Not only senior citizen, but all members of PhilHealth that are registered under the Consulta program, Mr. Chairperson.
So wala
Honorable
pong
Senator.
copay?
There is no copay in the government sector, Mr. Chairperson. However, in the private sector, there's a maximum limit of 750 pesos as part of the copayment, Mr. Chairperson. Honorable Senator Tulfo.
Para saan po yung copayment?
This only pertains to the private facilities that are offering consulta services, Mr. Chairperson. Honorable Senator
No.
Tulfo.
Not consulta. I mean, yung gamot, the medicine itself.
Yes, that's correct.
Regardless, kung halimbawa pupunta sa private hospital, itong kababayan natin, at mahirap siya, and then niresetahan siya ng doktor sa pagkukonsulta. So, yung gamot na yon dapat libre.
That's correct, Mr. Chairperson.
Very
Honorable
good.
Senator Tulfo. It's covered under the consulta program.
Ano yung consulta at 100% coverage?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson.
Ano-ano po yung mga maintenance na libre po?
May I be given a time, Mr. Chairperson,
Okay.
Honorable Senator Tulfo, to check on the specific name of the drugs
Yung
covered.
usually mga sakit ng mga kababayan natin, yung diabetes, high blood,
Attorney Eli, iklaro mo lang sa publiko, saan nila to ma-avail, itong mga ina-explain mo? Saan nila pwedeng i-avail? Kung sabi mo, consulta program, sa mga super health center ba? Sa mga rural health units? Sa mga provincial hospital? Saan nila pwedeng i-avail itong sinasabi mo para maintindihan po ng publiko?
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, PhilHealth has implemented the consulta program to implement primary healthcare in the country. So there are several accredited consulta providers in the country, all over the Philippines. There are public facilities as well as private. We accredit rural health centers, city health centers, level 1 hospitals, infirmary that is capable of delivering consulta or primary care.
So,
Services.
paano po nalalaman o malalaman ng mga pasyente na meron palang konsulta program dito or pag private, ito pala accredited at dito natin magpakonsulta and then maresetahan ako ng gamot libre, complements of PhilHealth, paano po malalaman? Anong klaseng information dissemination meron kayong ginagawa?
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo, at present, through the leadership of PCO Mandy Ledesma, we are increasing our information dissemination through our employees in the region. We're also announcing this information through radio as well as TV programs, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Senator Tulfo.
So meron pa kayong TV and radio ads.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson.
And on top of that, active kayo sa social media para informahan yung publiko na there is such a very beautiful program for the poor, especially pertaining to maintenance, medicines,
Mr.
para sa
Chair.
mga senior citizens and indigents. Go ahead po, sir.
Sir, thank you. Just want to add what CO Eli said, no? So there are currently around 2,800 accredited providers all over, no? We call them the KPPs. Now, with regards to information dissemination, sir, we are really the company is going all out in trying to disseminate all of this information, no? And like I mentioned in one of the previous hearings, including Honorable Congressman Erwin Tulfo has offered to help us. Speaker Martin Romualdez has offered to help us because their point is very good. Sabi nila, sayang naman lahat ng trabaho nyo sa PhilHealth. Lahat naman ng ginagawa nyo, ini-increase nyo yung mga benefit packages nyo, marami kayong ginagawa, ini-improve nyo yung payments of claims. Pero kung hindi nalalaman ng mga taong bayan, sayang lang. So we are definitely, just to rest assured, this honorable committee, no, we are working very hard in information dissemination on anything and everything,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Dalawa na lang,
Welcome,
Mr. Chair. Yung pong suspension ng PhilHealth rate increase, mangyari po ba yun? Wag ho muna mag-increase ng rate. Kasi nga po, sobra-sobra po yung pera, di ba? Bilyon-bilyon ang sumobra at yung inyong savings.
Senator, can I address the question, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, was
Senator, Senator, thank you for your question. Actually, the increase this year po, nag-increase siya from 4% to 5%, no? Kasi last year po, nasuspend siya. Dapat last year, 4 to 4.5. Dahil nasuspend siya, January 1 of this year, nag-increase siya from 4 to 5%. Yung increase po this year, yan na po yung huling increase po by law. So talagang hindi na mag-increase yan. Now, in line with that po, Honorable Senator Go, I think you authored, there's an amendment that's about to be passed. that will decrease the premium contribution. I
Sa-
think from 5 to
The
3.7
proposed amendments natin dito sa Senado,
Yeah.
from 5%
to 3.25
to
po.
3.25%
Yes po.
by 2025.
Yes po.
Yun yung kung maipasa yung batas, di ba? Am I correct?
Yes, but I feel, Senator, I think
So, i-recommend mo po ito.
110% po. We are fully behind you po.
So,
fully
supportive ka
supportive.
dito sa effort ng Senado.
Yes
to,
po, definitely
reduce.
po.
Pero sa level naman po ng PhilHealth, kumusta naman po yung effort ninyo? Aside from our effort na through amending the law, yung pinangako ninyo, sa tingin ninyo,
We were
ano
doing-
mas mauna sa tingin nyo?
Actually kasi, Senator, well, if the board will support us, if the PhilHealth board will support us, baka mauna kami, no? But again, like I said, I'm not so sure if the board will fully support us, no? But I will keep you posted po, Senator.
You're
no?
the president of the board.
I sit as vice chair po. The chairman is Honorable DOH Secretary Ted Herbosa po.
But
I
you are
sit as vice chair.
But
And-
you are the face of PhilHealth.
Okay.
Yes
Kayo
po.
pong nagpapatakbo, you're part of the EXICOM. Kung ano naman siguro ang rekomendasyon ninyo ay malaking weight po yun, no?
That's true po. Pero I don't know if you recall po, when I announced this in our last hearing, the next day, lumabas po sa newspaper si Secretary Herbosa. Sabi niya, he's strongly against it. In
Sa-
fact, yung exact words niya, what the hell is Ledesma talking about, no? He's never heard of anything like that and he thinks it's outrageous.
So, ibig sabihin
I don't think I will be able to get his support on this po.
So, ibig mo sabihin, yung pinangako mo, na irekomenda mo sa Pangulo, mananatiling pangako lang yon.
Hindi po. Gagawin ko po talaga, but I cannot go directly. I have to get clearance from the board of directors. So what I will do po, before going to President Marcos, I will take it up with the board of PhilHealth. Now, if the board shoots it down, I cannot go directly. But if the board supports me, then I will go to
So,
President
buti
Marcos.
na lang, nagpasa rin kami ng batas dito. ng
Exactly.
bill
Yes
dito,
po. Yes po.
amending the Universal
po.
Healthcare.
Yes po.
Para simultaneous, your efforts and the Senate's efforts.
Yes po. But we continue po to study. We shall continue to present it to the board. We shall continue to move it forward po.
Alam mo, dapat talagang babaan pa yan further yung premium contribution. Dahil may pondo kayong reserve.
Nga, sana pinapoint out ko, Mr. Chair, kasi nga sobrang daming pera ang PhilHealth, ang laki ng reserve, saka sa sobrang daming pera nagsusoli pa sila, yung premium, kasi umaaray yung ilang mga kababayan natin, especially yung maliliit na kababayan natin na minimum wage earner. Kung may pagpatuloy ko lang po, Mr. Chair, dalawa na lamang, kasi during the last hearing, yung HITPIC kung tawagin, okay, gusto ko lang ng konting explanation tungkol dyan dahil marami ako nakakausap din ng mga doktor na nagreklamo sila, hindi nababayaran yung bill nila on time kasi napakaraming HITPIC, dapat isa lang yung capable na i-process lahat ng bills na sinasubmit ng lahat ng doktor, yun ang magpo-process, and then pag na-process yung malinis na, malalaman na kung yung ba ay karapat-dapat na bayaran o hindi, saka ipo-forward sa PhilHealth. Ang nangyari kasi ngayon, ang daming HITPIC. Ilan bang HITPIC meron kay 1 trilyon?
Actually, Senator, if I may, I knew you would bring up this question in this hearing. So we asked our SVP, our head of IT, Ma'am Jovi Aragona. She can address your questions much better po. She's very familiar with the whole system po. With
Opo.
your permission po.
Thank you, sir. At may dagdag ko lamang, so, yung bawat HITPIC, may kanya-kanya silang program. So, sometimes those programs that each HITPIC have, hindi tumutugma sa program ng PhilHealth, kaya deny dito, deny doon. And then there are times na pagdating ng mga bills sa HITPIC, para lamang mabawasan yung overload nila, dinideny outright. So, yung mga doktor, umaaray. So, marami sa mga doktor, hindi nababayaran. So, yung iba sa kanila, ang laki ng receivables, wag na lang ako magpa-accredited sa PhilHealth. Diba? Kuha na lang ako ng mga taong, yung insurance company, HMO, or dili kaya cash pay. So, ang tanong ko po, ilan ba? Ilan trilyon? I'm just being sarcastic na kasi balita ko ang daming HITPIC. Kailangan isa lang. Ilan po at paano po naging qualified yung naging qualified itong mga HITPICs na ito. Ito po yung service providers para doon sa mga hindi nakaalam kung ano pinag-usapan natin dito. Yes, ma'am.
Honorable Senator Tulfo, hindi na po HITP ang tawag sila ngayon, kundi service providers. Sa kasalukuyan, meron po tayong a total of for the service providers na certified, nasa 55 po.
55.
55 po.
Sa palagay nyo, konti pa lang yan?
Sa ngayon po sa status, kasi almost of the hospital po ay meron ng e-claims, no? With that number, it could actually increase, pero hindi na siya ganon kabilis or kataas kasi
Bakit po 55? Bakit po hindi isa? Like I said, I mentioned it earlier,
yes,
nung nasa California, naging biller din po ako para sa Medicaid or Medical. They only have one service provider.
Apa.
Ang tawag nga doon, I don't know kung yun pa rin may contract, electronic data system. Isa lang po yun. Tayo ang dami.
So let me explain po. So ngayon po, wala po tayong accreditation ng HITP. Meron po tayong
Is that
tinatawag
HITP o HITP?
HITP. Hindi na po Health Information Technology Providers at hindi na po nag-accredit ang PhilHealth ng HITP. Ang ginagawa po natin ngayon ay yung tinatawag na software certification. Isang system lang po ang pinapatakbo ng PhilHealth. Ito po yung electronic claim system. Yung electronic claim system, ito po yung merong mga modules katulad ng eligibility checking, electronic submission po ng data. So
Kaya
isa
nga po-
lang po talaga yung e-claims po natin.
Isa lang ang e-claims coming from, okay, alimbawa, run me through, doctor's office. Ngayon, magbibil ako ng mga servisyo na ibigay ko sa mga pasyente. So, mamimili ako ng service providers na dati HITP kung tawagin. Kung sinong gusto ko.
Opo po. Yung sa hospital po, klaro ko lang po, Honorable Senator Tulfo, yung mga hospitals po natin ngayon, meron silang mga kani-kanilang information system. So yung
No, ma'am.
information
No, ma'am.
system
Di tayo
nila,
nakaintindihan. Ang gusto kong mangyari, iisa lang po ang service provider para hindi po magkakalito-lituan dahil na-mention ko na kanina, bawat service provider, bawat HIT or HITP kung tawagin ninyo, magkakaiba-iba pong programa niyan. Kung
Yes.
minsan, hindi nagkakatugma-tugma doon sa program ng PhilHealth. Kaya left and right ang nagiging denial. There are HITP or service providers na madaling magka-overload sa system nila. Kaya outright denial sa mga bills. So dapat, ang gusto ko mangyari, isa na lang, kuha kayo ng capable na service provider na malaki, nang sa gayon, uniform ang pag-submit ng bill, uniform ang pag-process, and on time.
yes po Senator, aralin po namin yan. So may pros and cons po. Pero titignan po namin yan, no, that kind of scenario or use case. Pero yung for information po ngayon, kahit iba-iba po yung system ng mga hospital, so meron pong standard data sets na pinapatakbo ang PhilHealth para makapag-submit po sila ng data sa atin. Pero at any rate, we're going to study po yung ano po nyo, yung proposal nyo po, Senator.
So, tingnan mo na, last na naman. So yung ospital, nagpo-process ng kanilang bill, may mga code yan bawat procedure, tama?
Yes po.
And then, dadaan yan sa service provider. Para ang service provider, may mga doktor din doon, may mga experts doon, para alamin kung tama ba yung amount na sinet ng PhilHealth na dapat bayaran at doon malalaman kung bogus ang claim o hindi. Tama?
Yes po.
And then, kapag na-process nila na maayos yun, ipapasa sa PhilHealth.
Yes po.
Di ba? Ganun lang kasimple.
Yes po. Meron po yun.
Yun ang
Nasa
gusto ko,
system po
yung
nila.
middleman kung tawagin,
Oo.
para mas maintindihan ng mga tao,
Apo.
masa. Pero healthcare provider tawag
Apo.
nyo. Ang gusto ko, isa lang.
Yes po, titignan po natin.
Kasi ang dami di ba?
Apo.
Tapos, matanong ko lang, paano nagiging qualified itong napakarami, 55 na service providers na hindi nagko-communicate sa isa't isa, magkakaiba yung sistema nila. Kaya nga, sabi ko, for the end time, left and right ang denial sa mga bills ng mga doktor.
Yes po. Ang PhilHealth po, kahit iba po sa sistema, meron po tayong standard data sets na kailangan nilang comply.
No, ang ibig sabihin kasi ma'am, yung service providers na maliit lang siya, siguro kaya siya nabigyan ng accreditation dahil siya ay may connection kay Herodes, yung isa kay Poncio Pilato, yung isa kay Estas, yung isa kay Barabas. So, naging accredited sila. Wala naman silang capability kung tutuusin. Kaya madali mag-overload ang system nila. So, para mabawasan yung pagkaka-overload ng system nila, yung nagkapatong-patong na yung mga bills doon, magdi-deny sila ng outright denial. Yun. So, yung mga doktor, kawawa din naman yung ibang doktor, di ba? Especially kung maliliit lang ang clinic. Yung accounts receivables nila, nakapatong-patong na. Inundated kasi yung kanilang bills, yung kanilang system, inundated ng sobrang daming bills. Yun po ibig sabihin.
Apo. Senator.
You follow me, ma'am?
Yes po. I-reviewin po natin kasi lahat po sila bago ma-certify, tawag namin, hindi na accreditation certified, meron po silang test na kailangan comply do sa software. But definitely, Senator, Honorable Senator, we're going to look pa further.
Tingnan nyo yung possibility
Yes,
na
po.
isa lang. Or pwede siguro dalawa. I'll tell you what. Pwede yung isa, service provider para sa ospital at yung isa para sa mga doctor's offices or clinics.
Yes po.
Maximum din. Sa inyo kasi ngayon, 55. Kung gusto mo, dagdagan mo pa, gawin mo 105.
Opo.
Ano pa? O
Siguro-
gawin mo 1,000.
Yes po. We will look
Okay lang,
into it.
1,000 days.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you for your questions, no. I was just discussing with Ma'am Jovi on the sidelines. I think it's an excellent idea. So what we will do, Senator Tulfo, we'll study and we'll look at the possibility of having just one or maybe two, but kung pwedeng one lang, for efficiency's sake, one service provider only. Titignan po namin, we'll keep you posted, updated on our study po.
O, tingnan nyo, mabilis po.
I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Senate President, Francis Escudero. Senator Tulfo, meron lang po akong pakiusap. sa inyo. Lahat naman ito ay isa po ang ating layunin, no, to improve the services of PhilHealth para sa mga mahirap. Senator Raffy, meron lang po akong bago po kayo umalis kasi pareho tayo may mga hearing. At dito si Senate President Migs, pwede ba nating pakinggan ang misis po ng provincial health officer po ng Camarines Norte? Sir Raffy, pakinggan natin to. Ito, classic example po ito na nag-contribute po siya ng 200,000 ng kanyang sweldo. At hero to ito ng pandemya dahil sila po nakipaglaban kontra COVID sa Camarines Norte. Pero kung siya naman po nagkasakit, hindi niya na-avail yung dapat na mapunta sa kanya. Yun ang hindi ko maintindihan sa PhilHealth. Yun pong pakiusap ko. Yan ang explain niyo sa publiko. Ma'am, Miss Maydan Galado, nakikiramay po ako sa inyo.
Thank you po.
Nakikiramay. Pwede pong mapakinggan namin ang dinanas po ninyo.
Apo,
Ang pamilya ninyo.
good morning po, Mr. Chair, Senator Bongo, and our Senate President po, Senator Cheese, and na opera in 2 weeks. Yung first admission namin, our bill was almost 6 million. Parang gusto kong ibalik kasi his monthly payment, we are both in the government, in the provincial government of Camarines Norte po. He pays 5,000 sa premium.
Magkano ang na-contribute niya sa buong...
For the entire 15 years po, according to the membership portal ng PhilHealth, it's 200,000 po. And he was only able to avail 27,000 at that time. I pay 6,000 also. So both of us, we pay almost 11,000 every month of our premium. Pagdating doon, 27 lang.
Lugi pa siya.
Yes po. Buti na lang po may PWD siya. Kasi it really helped us a lot. Second admission, that was the cause of his death. Namatay na po siya ng August 16. It was multiple organ failure, secondary to septic shock, may UTI infection, pneumonia, pancreatic carcinoma po. Pero yung bill namin was 4.5. Na-charge lang 29,000 again for the second admission. Ando na naman po ako sa billing, nakikipagtalo ako. Bakit ganon? Bakit hindi commensurate yung sa bill namin with the coverage ng PhilHealth? And they told us na wala po kaming magagawa kasi po case rate. Binigay lang nila sa akin yung code. So parang ito, kasi kung anong basis, anong computation. So sa PhilHealth po, case rate, they just give you the code. So septic shock, 29,120, and that's it. Sabi ko, where can I ask? Sabi nila, sa PhilHealth po kayo pumunta. Actually, ang dami pong nagrereklamo sa amin. Wala po kaming magawa kasi it's PhilHealth regulations, PhilHealth policy. So kaya po nung nakita kami ni Governor Dong Padilla po, I really asked help. Sabi ko, parang kawawa naman. Parang ako nga nakaramdam kami ng injustice. Parang sa dami ng hulog niya, parang kami pa ang nagpautang sa PhilHealth. And to think na kami, we have enough salary for us. But our bill, sobrang parang yung pinaghirapan mo, all went into his hospitalization. And he has been working as a doctor for his entire life. And sabi niya dati, kasi kumuha ako ng critical wellness package. It's an insurance. I pay 6,000 every month. Kasi pag na-diagnose ako, I would get 2 million outright for any critical illness. Sabi ko, kumuha ka ran para parehas tayo. Sabi niya, no, the PhilHealth is very good. So, hindi siya kumuha. Tapos nung namatay siya, hindi ko matakbuhan yung PhilHealth. At sobrang unfair. Parang kami, wala kaming choice. We have to pay. Sana hinulog ko na lang sa insurance ko. Sana hinulog ko na lang sa insurance niya and we can get what we need. Pero kami, we pay 3,000. I pay 3,000. He pays 2,500. The provincial government covers for the rest. But we were not helped the way that we should be helped. Kaya po, talagang nakiusap ako kay Gov. Gov, sabi ko, saan tayo pupunta? Kasi hindi lang ako. Sabihin, we are not an isolated case. Paano po yung iba naming kasama? And nung narinig ng mga taga-Kapitolyo po na pupunta kami dito, talagang ang dami po nagsabi na kailangan po atang tingnan how we compute the case rate. Kasi definitely, like for me, we will not go to the public hospital. We will go to a private hospital. But the case rate, there's something wrong. Kahit we can afford a little, But still, it's not right that we pay this much, but we don't get the coverage na appropriate.
Unang-una ako po ay nakikiramay, Ma'am Maydan Halgalado sa pagkamatay ng iyong mister. At nakikiramay rin po ako sa iyong dinanas sa serbisyo po ng PhilHealth. Nakakalungkot naman po. Mr. Ledesma, unang tanong ko po, pakisagot po itong mga tanong ko. Unang tanong ko sa iyo, naranasan mo bang ma-hospital na katulad po na dinanas ni Sir Walter? Na ganun lang po ang binawas sa iyong hospital billing. Pangalawa, ito po yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na case rate na sinasabi ninyo na ini-increase nyo 30%, i-increase nyo naman, baka i-increase nyo 2,000, 3,000. Pangatlo, Mr. Ledesma, ayusin nyo po yung inyong mga benefit packages. Tingnan nyo mabuti. Anuhin mo yung pera kung namatay na, hindi na nakakatulong.
Can I respond, Mr. Chair? Yeah. Thank you po.
Go ahead po.
Ma'am, my deepest condolences po. No. I also want to say good morning to Honorable Senate President Chis Escudero. Senator, Mr. Chair, first of all, and later, if you'll allow us, we'll explain how the case rates, when we're saying we're going to increase it by around 50%, we'll explain in detail how it works po para maintindihan itong committee na ito. No. Secondly, ma'am, Mr. Chair, Senate President, when I joined PhilHealth po, I found out that it's been 12 years that the benefit case packages have been increased or enhanced. Kaya right away, immediately, pagpasok ko, yan ang ginawa ko kaagad, no? So in the last 2 years, makikita nyo ang daming increases in the case packages, no? Including the breast cancer, the 156 and all that, no? So I think the reason, ma'am is correct, no? Ma'am is correct. Masyadong maliit, masyadong lugi, masyadong mababa.
Bakit nga maliit? Bakit nga? Ang sobrang liit.
Kasi po,
Million yun.
po,
Tapos wala pang 30,000 ang binawas.
Senator, it's been 12 years nga po that the case packages have not been enhanced. So 12 years yan nakapako po.
Nakapako.
Yes po.
So ilang pasyente
hindi-
pa kaya ang mamamatay niyan?
po, that's why, again, with your permission and with your patience, sana po, we are working very aggressively. In fact, diba, last February 14, nag-increase na kami ng 30%. Now, I committed another...
Wag mo na isipin yung patients ko, isipin mo yung patients, yung mga pasyente.
Yes po. So, all I'm saying is, we acknowledge, at PhilHealth, we acknowledge the shortcomings, no? We are addressing it. We are fully addressing it by being very aggressive this year po.
Alam mo ba yung
Makikita niyo po,
sa empleyado ninyo sa Visayas? I think sa Capiz, 800,000 yung billing niya. Mismong empleyado ninyo ang na-avail lang niya, less than 30,000. Saan niya kukunin yung pambayad niya sa hospital noon?
again, Honorable Senator Go,
Tapos
I'm
alam
not-
niya na meron pang pondong 500 billion ang PhilHealth.
again, Honorable Senator Go, we acknowledge it, no? I'm not, hindi ko ilalaban. Tama po yon. Tama kayo. Tama po si ma'am.
Kaya nga,
And
wag nyo na pong tagalan. Bilisan nyo na po. Nagkaroon na tayo ng third hearing dito. Wala pa kayong ginagawang pagbabago sa PhilHealth. Puro kayo, pag-aaralan ko, we will study, puro to board decision to. Andyan yung pondo eh. Buti sana kung wala kayong pondo. Ibang usapan yun kung walang reserve fund. Ba't nandiyan yung reserve fund? Hindi po katanggap-tanggap na naghihingalo yung mga pasyente, nangangailangan ng tulong, ang iba namamatay, eh hindi nyo ginagamit ng pondo ninyo.
Yes,
Balik nyo sa tao, balik nyo sa mga mahirap. Gaya na sinabi ko kanina, Mr. Ledesma, sa bawat desisyon na gagawin ninyo sa buhay ninyo, isipin nyo yung mga mahirap, yung mga pasyente. Yan lang po. Hindi kayo magkakamali dyan.
Mr. Chairman.
We hear you loud and clear, Senator
Mr.
Go.
Chairman.
Senate President.
To begin with, I think we should, good morning to everyone. To begin with, we should find out, and I hope your committee already found out, paano nga ba umabot ng ganyang kalaki yung reserve fund ng PhilHealth? Bakit hindi tumugma yung actuarial study ng contribution dun sa benepisyong binibigay? I'll just utter several questions, Mr. Chairman. Bakit ganong kadali magsabing 30%? Bakit hindi 50%? Bakit hindi 100%? Is there an actuarial study, before answering, sir, that is based on? Yung sinabi ni Ms. May kanina, ang PhilHealth contribution sa mga empleyado ng gobyerno at pribadong sektor nakadepende sa sweldo nila. Bakit yung case rate, iisa, magkano man ang contribution mo? Parang yung palang may mali na. Di ba, ang typical na insurance na pribado, bibili ka ng package, depende sa premium mo, yun ang makukuha mong benepisyo. Bakit sa PhilHealth yung case rate applicable sa lahat, kahit magkano yung contribution mo?
Baka yan ang rason kung bakit nakaipon ng ganyang kalaking reserve din ng PhilHealth. Next point, sir, is kindly submit to the committee, I won't belabor the point, magkano ba utang nyo sa mga ospital, both public and private, na hindi pa nyo binabayaran o hindi nyo na binayaran? Kasi may ganun eh. After a certain period of time, hindi nyo na kailangan bayaran yung mga RTH nyo. So magkano ba yun? Kaya ba kayo nakaipon? You might also want to review your policy on RTH because you might be too strict. Nagkapareho lang ng address, nagkapareho ng edad, ng first name, double R yung last name nung nag-claim, single R yung nasa record nyo, denied na. Anong gagawin namin? Nagkamali eh. That's why we had to start all over again with respect to registering our PhilHealth database. Again, that should be looked into by PhilHealth. And finally, final point, Mr. Chair, and I hope Mr. Ledesma would take this into account. Ms. May, if you don't mind, magkano po ang sweldo ng asawa ninyo? Kada buwan?
Yung asawa ko po is a Provincial Health Officer, 1, salary grade 24 po, 94,000.
94,000, Mr. Ledesma, is a relatively high rate. Ang ordinaryong teacher, ang sweldo nasa 28,000. Both of them are not considered indigent. But any government employee who has a salary of 90,000, even 100,000, 28,000, even 130,000, they are still cancer indigent. They are still heart bypass or heart operation indigent. That's still not enough to pay the medical expenses if you're a cancer patient or if you need a heart operation. Kaya yung lumang concept natin ng indigent lang ang tutulungan, sa totoo lang, kahit sino sa panel na to na may magkasakit na kamag-anak na seryoso tulad ng cancer o sakit sa puso, hindi po sapat yung sweldo kahit 100,000 pa yan kada buwan dahil ginagastos mo rin yun eh. Ang natatabi mo, konti lang naman eh. Doon dapat pumasok sana ang PhilHealth. Kaya nga inimbento ni Senator Go yung Malasakit Center para pag samasamahin yung iba't ibang pondo ng gobyerno para punuan yung hindi kayang bayaran na sana ng PhilHealth. But PhilHealth should do its part in so far as increasing that part that the insurance will cover. Again, Your Honor, there is no excuse to have that much reserve. Naalala ko about 3 years ago, before you entered PhilHealth, yung 100 bilyong reserve ng PhilHealth, laking-laki na kaming lahat yun, ba't nandyan? Sayang yung pera. Dapat ginagastos. At 100 billion reserve, you're losing at 4% inflation, you're losing 4 billion a year. At 500 billion reserve, you're losing in terms of value 20 billion pesos. Simply because of inflation. 20 bilyong halaga ng serbisyo na nabigay mo sana sa Pilipino na kailangan ng medical services na hindi nyo nabigay dahil hindi nyo ginastos yung pera. And we simply lost that amount to inflation. I hope you will consider all of these things and factor them in deciding your so-called increase in case rates and in deciding on what to cover and how much to cover in relation especially to the contributions being given by the members of PhilHealth. Kindly consider them. And I don't expect an answer, sir. Just kindly consider them. And for the record, on the committee of Senator Go.
Senator,
Sige po.
can I address the question before Senator Cheese leaves? No, Senate President, thank you very much. Excellent comments, excellent inputs, excellent questions. No, first of all, on your request to submit a list of payments to the public and private hospitals, we will furnish your office and this honorable committee within the day po. No, a detail. Okay po, we will
Yung utang
submit
na lang, sir, wag yun yung binayad. Yung utang na lang sa all hospitals as of today or as
the
of this week.
detailed utang, Senate President. We will submit within the day to your honorable office. No, and then secondly,
Sir, while you're at it, kindly also submit, hindi lang yung utang meaning payable, pati yung hindi nyo binayaran na sinubukang singilin ng mga ospital.
yes po.
Mr.
Or one
Ledesma,
reason or another.
Sir Ledesma, masabi nyo kanina, kino-comment kayo ng private hospitals. Contrary po ito sa nabasa ko, API, slums, PhilHealth, excess funds transfer, sites unpaid. Ibig sabihin, marami pa kayong unpaid.
So, tignan po, Your Honor, with due respect, tignan niyo po yung date. Pakibaba yung date, August 22 po.
So, na-address nyo na yan. Ngayon.
Pag in the last few months po, puro praises and commendations. In fact, Honorable Senator Go, we can furnish a copy of the commendation letters to your good office para makita niyo po talaga. Including Rene de Granda.
So, after nyo nabasa ito, in-address nyo na kagad, sinatisfy nyo na sila.
Well, from day one that I joined, Senator, we've been addressing it. But it's just lately that they have been acknowledging our improvements and we've been hearing all commendations and gratitude for a job well done po. Especially the payments to the private hospitals po.
Basta gamitin nyo yung pera ng pondo sa mga mahirap,
Yes
sa mga
po.
pasyente. Gusto ko ring explain mo sa publiko at masagot at masatisfy si Miss Maydan Halgalado. So yun sa computation nyo, bakit ganun
Yes.
kaliit?
Actually po, we'll explain the case rates in a while. If I can just address, Senator, with your permission, no, I just want to address maganda yung mga tanong ni Senator Cheese. First of all, Senator Cheese started by saying, bakit ba lumaki yung pondo ng PhilHealth? with your permission, Senator, if I can be given a few minutes to explain paano lumaki yung pondo ng PhilHealth, okay? There are three main reasons, Senator Go, no? And these questions have been repeatedly asked kasi in Congress, no? So I'm glad Senate President brought it up. The first reason, the biggest reason is, like I said